Good afternoon, YouTube. Sorry if you're watching this in the morning or at night, that's not my fault. I'm TJ from Archery Outdoors, and in this video, I'm going to go over the elevated platform I built. I was gonna do this all in one video because I'm planning on building a top to it as well, but different people like to do different stuff. So some people I know like to build a platform and buy a blind for the top, or build your own at different sizes. Some people just like the platform to sit on. There's a bunch of different scenarios. So I'm going to actually do this in like a 3-part video. I'm going to do the first part, how I built the platform. Second part will be the top portion to it. And the third part, I'm going to put a little wood burner inside. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can watch all three and comment about the wood burner, why the smell of smoke scares animals away. All right, let's begin. Okay, so I was gonna do a video where like I actually built it on camera. I was kind of looking for that. It's like some kind of example when I was building this, but if you're here, you probably know how to use power tools already. So I'm just gonna kind of go through and like talk about what I did. So this platform right here is a 4x8 sheet of plywood on top, which means the platform is 4 feet by 8 feet. I did that intentionally just because it made everything a lot easier actually. It's actually going to be a pretty good size for the top portion too. You'll see in the second video. And also I'm not gonna have like a seam in the floor. So obviously I used pressure treated wood. I don't know if you can tell that from the camera or not, but yeah, so it's pressure treated wood. I just didn't really want like a seam in there, I guess. I guess I didn't have a reason, but all right, so I'm gonna walk through and go over every part specifically. All right, so starting from the, I guess, bottom, working our way up is the easiest way to do this. So there's a lot of different lengths or heights, I guess, people have used. I used 4 feet, I guess, for my 4x4s. I bought two 8-foot 4x4s and just cut them in half. I can definitely see why you'd probably want it like 5 or 6 feet. I think sometimes shooting platforms are way too tall, but it also depends on the environment you're hunting in. I have a pretty flat area with a big backstop behind here, so I feel pretty good about it. Certainly the higher you are up, the more angle you have down, right, which is safer. Versus, you know, if you're on level ground and you shoot, who knows where the round's going to go unless you know your backstop. So I did 8-foot 4x4s, pressure treated, cut them in half. I got these brackets from a local outdoor place, LO Cody's in New Hampshire. They're not a sponsor for this video, by the way, but I do really like that store. So if you're ever up in Earl, New Hampshire, go check it out. So there's a lot of different brands of these. You can find them on Amazon. I spent a little bit more on them. I've seen on Amazon there's like some cheaper ones, especially because it's going to be holding my weight in enclosed space up high. I didn't want to skimp on the brackets, but these were like $106 or $110 or something like that for the set of 4. They hold like 1,000 pounds, so pretty decent. I don't know if they hold more than that. They just only are allowed to advertise as 1,000. But that's really not a lot of weight, so I weigh right around 200 pounds. So if there's 2 of me on here, that's almost half your weight already. But what I did is I cut these 4x4s in half. They just slide right up in these brackets. I got 1.5" lag screws, and yeah, just sunk them in. It was pretty easy to do. All right, let me take you underneath and show you the joists. All right, so here's a view underneath the platform, which works out pretty good because it started raining. So what I did, like I said, is I got 2x6s that I ran down the side, all pressure treated. Worked out pretty well because I just had to make sure they were at 8 feet, which is what they come in. And I just ran those right down, basically made a box. So 2x6s, full length almost on the outside, so long ways. Short ways, I use 2x6s as well, but I cut them down to 44 3/4 inches. So that's to compensate for the basically 1.5 inches on either side, so it lines up evenly with the plywood. So I basically made a frame. And then for the joists, I was going to use 2x6s, but like I said, weight's an issue, so I used pressure treated 2x4s, and I got hangers for the sides, and then I used 1.5 inch screws, so I just screwed from the inside out. And it worked out pretty good. I feel like pretty safe standing on this with only using the 2x4s. All right, so next thing on the bottom part is the cross pieces. I saw some other videos where everyone put all the 2x4s on the outside, and they kind of like, you know, pushed them together so they like fight against each other. I did one on the outside, one on the inside for each side. Probably at some point I might sink a bolt through here. and put a PVC pipe in the center just to keep them from shifting a little bit. But this thing is pretty solid, right? So what I did, which I think was easier, right? It's not a house, it's a platform to hunt off of. So I just carry the 2x4s up here, right? Because I'm not close to my house or electricity. And I screwed them in place where I wanted them. And then I just used a chainsaw. And I don't know if you can see this, I just cut them off, right? Probably pre-cut them and measure them and walk up, and yeah, it could be a whole thing, but it made it a lot easier. So I did 8 cross pieces total. And I will be honest, this thing was pretty wobbly before I put the cross pieces on. And after I added them on, it's super secure now. All right, so for the ladder, I can't really give you like measurements for it because it really depends on how flat the ground is. There's a lot of factors there. I just basically carried a 2x4 up here, and I went to the edge of the platform. I held it up to where it's, you know, on the ground and on the edge of the platform, and I ran a pencil down it. I carried it back down. I cut both of them the same angle. It was about 50 degrees. That's what this angle was. I did the same thing for both, so it's gonna be a little bit different for everyone. The cross pieces here, I just used as leftovers from the cross pieces for the legs for the platform. And I cut them to 26 inches. I think I tried like 28, and like 2 of them were shorter or something. So I ended up just doing them so they were all the same. And this, I just face screwed right through here. I don't know if you could tell from the other shot, but the screws are sticking out on the backside a little bit. I'm just gonna cut them off and sand them down so there's not a sharp screw sticking off the backside. I considered too doing like a bracket or maybe like a platform out here and having like a ladder straight up and down. Like I said, it's not that high off the ground, and I definitely trust this setup. So yeah, I think it's fine. All right, and then last, the top piece here, probably pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, it's a 4x8 sheet of plywood. The support for the plywood, basically like the frame, is exactly the same size as the plywood, so nothing sticks out. I will say with the brackets, they stick out a little bit, and then the 2x4s, but that's, you know, going down off the side a little bit. For screwing this down, I just probably used too many screws more than I needed, but I did let the plywood sit out here for a night before I screwed down. It got a little wavy, so I put basically 4 screws going across at each joist, or where each hanger is. And it's pretty solid now. I mean, this whole thing, I can wiggle, it's not even moving, so pretty cool. When I do the top for this, I'm going to do 2x4 sides, probably plywood walls or T111. I'm going to go compare costs. And then, you know, the roof will be probably 2x8s that I'll cut long ways, right? So it'll have a little bit of an angle. Yeah, so make sure you like and subscribe so you can see this thing continue on. Thanks for watching.